comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh. What's up, guys? It's MD Shady back at it again with another great video for you guys today. Today will be a which is better between San Diego Comic-Con 2020 versus FunKon 2021. But before that, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here and hit that little notification bell to be notified when future content like this video gets released. But anyways, guys, let's check it out. So we will be doing another which is better video, and this one is pretty crazy because there's some really good pops to talk about. It's between, like I said, San Diego Comic-Con 2020 versus FunKon 2021, and of course we do have some categories of pops to talk about. So here are the categories: ad icons, animation, DC Comics, Disney, games, Marvel, movies, television, and then miscellaneous. Like always, it's usually always about the same categories that we have for these kind of which is better videos. So I will start with the ad icons first, and first I will start off with 2020, and of course we had that Jack box from Jack in the Box, and I really love this pop. I really want to get it. It's going up in value quite a bit. I believe it's over $100 Canadian now. It might even be in the 200 range. I really like this. I like the restaurant. Only been there once. I definitely want to have this pop. And then there's the 3 toucans, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of these. I can see why they did it. It makes sense for the con. But I think there was also that controversy about you had to spend like $500 or something like that, and then that was just kind of giving you the chance to be able to get these pops. So they're not the greatest, but they are kind of cool, especially if you did get your hands on them. Now they're kind of like grail pieces, I suppose. And then for 2021, we have the Drummer McNugget, which I love from the McDonald's line. I'm loving the McDonald's line. I love the nuggets. I still need to get all of the nuggets, but the rest of the set I pretty much have. Then we have the Movies mascot from, I guess it would be from Clerks 2, I believe. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's from Jay and Silent Bob, but I'm pretty sure it's from the movie Clerks 2, if I'm not mistaken. And it's kind of surprising that it is an ad icon and not part of the movies lineup, I guess. But I also really love this pop and love all of the Jay and Silent Bob type movies. And then we have Smaxy the Seal from Sugar Smacks. This is cool. I love these kind of old style like cereal pops. I do have the Tony the Tiger, that old one. It's down there. I'm not going to pull it out, but I love the box for that. I love how it kind of does look vintage, so that's really, really cool. This one's pretty easy for me, even though I really love the Jack box pop, and I really, really want to get that. The toucans I hate, and then the 3 pops for 2021, I like them all pretty good, so I have to give the first category to 2021. Moving on to animation for 2020, we're starting off with the My Hero Academia pop of Katsuki, or Bakugo, I guess. This is a really cool pop. I like how this looks. I like the pose. The character is great. I think it was a well-deserved costume for this character to have a pop of. It looks nice, and it seems like a con pop, which is really awesome. Then we have the Goku Super Saiyan God Goku, I would think that is. Yeah, SSG. Yeah. This is alright. I mean, I love the Dragon Ball pops, whether it's Super or Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball. I love them, but it starts to get a lot when you have so many different versions of one character, in a sense. With Goku, this is a cool looking pop, but it's definitely not one of my favorites from the Dragon Ball lineup. And then we have Scaramouche. I really like this. I want to get this. I want to get all the Samurai Jack pops, but they are starting to go up in value, which is a good thing, I guess, but not for me when I still need to buy them. Then moving on to 2021, we have another Samurai Jack pop, and I thought that was very, very fitting, and that's Demongo. And I know that a lot of people are definitely pumped for this because that's a really cool character from Samurai Jack. The pop looks a little weird though compared to the actual character in the show, just because of the way not even the art style, but just the shape of the character in general just didn't really translate to pop form, I guess, in my opinion. But it's still cool, and it's a Samurai Jack pop, which is awesome because we don't have very many pops for that show. And then we have the Danger Mouse. This is pretty cool. I feel like we've already had Danger Mouse pops before though. Actually, maybe not. I know there was the soda can, but I don't know about the pop. But this is pretty cool. It's not one of my favorites from the con though. Gang Orca from My Hero Academia, and I really like the way this pop turned out. I think it looks really good, and I could definitely see this being a fan favorite from this con for a lot of people. The same with Fat Gum. Fat Gum looks really awesome as well. I don't know, there's just something about Gang Orca that I like a little bit better than Fat Gum though. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because these are all some pretty good pops. I think I have to give it to 2021 for animation. I really like Gang Orca. I really like Fat Gum. I do like Scaramouche more than I like Demongo, but I don't think it's enough to give 2020 the edge for animation. Next, we are moving on to DC Comics. And in 2020, we had Ra's al Ghul, which is a pretty cool looking pop. Not one of my favorites, though. The Cyborg Superman, which is a really cool looking pop, and I definitely do like this pop. Black Lightning, which I know a lot of people really enjoyed. And then the Mr. Freeze Glitter, which I'm pretty sure ended up not looking very good in person. So then in 2021, we have the Deathstroke, which I believe is part of the, I forget exactly what it was called. It was like Samurai DC, I guess, to get the point across. This is alright. I mean, DC pops aren't really my favorite. I have like a couple different ones that I kind of liked, but I don't really collect them. I do like this box though. I like when the boxes are different. It's pretty cool. So this box is interesting, this pop's interesting, and there's also the Martian Manhunter that goes with that, I guess. And this pop looks alright as well. You have the Stargirl, which, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of this pop, because I'm not really a huge fan of DC in general. Nubia from Wonder Woman, I don't like that at all. I don't know, it looks like one of those pops that shouldn't be a con pop. It looks like a pop that's gonna sit around on a shelf for a while. Then we have Dr. Fate. This is kind of cool. This is a kind of cool looking pop, I guess. It kind of gives me more of a vibe of a con pop. White Lantern Sinestro. This is a cool looking pop. This looks nice. This looks like a con pop. This is what I expect for a con pop. The pose looks good, and I really love how the pink kind of face, or maroon, I guess it's more of a maroon color, it really pops with the white and grays of the costume. So that's a cool pop. And then we have the Batman with the scythe. I don't know, I'm kind of sick of Batman pops. This one's not the worst. So if I had to compare 2020 to 2021, 2020 definitely takes it for DC Comics. Moving on to Disney for 2020, Yzma as Cat. It doesn't say as Cat, but it is when she's a cat. I love this pop. I really want to get this pop. It is kind of going up in price, but it's still affordable right now, so I think I'm going to have to kind of pull the trigger on this one soon. Then you have Kevin, part of the Alien Remix lineup. This is a pretty great pop. I know that DK wants to collect all of these, and I believe he does have this one. It's cool. I like how there's kind of 5 eyes, even though the alien has 3 eyes, and then the Kevin has the 2 eyes. I like the set, but not enough to collect it, I guess. And then for 2021, Walrus and the Carpenter from Alice in Wonderland. This is a pretty cool pop. I could definitely see this being kind of a con pop, which it is, obviously. The Blacklight White Rabbit, which I love. Everything Blacklight that Funko is doing, and the Alice in Wonderland ones make a lot of sense. So it also makes sense to get White Rabbit, and I'm glad that this is a con exclusive. And then we have the Campground Kronk, and this is awesome. This didn't necessarily have to be a con exclusive. Am I mad that it is? No, not really. But I can't wait to get my hands on this pop. Snow White, which comes with the pin, and then I believe also when you buy this pop, it also comes with a Loungefly backpack, which is pretty cool, I guess. But we're just talking about the pop and I guess the pin, which is pretty alright, I guess. And then we have the Three Musketeers Mickey Mouse. This is a really cool pop. I think it looks good. I mean, we've seen other Three Musketeer pops, so why not have the Mickey Mouse? And then we have another pop from It's a Small World, and we have Mexico. This looks pretty great. I love the idea of these pops from the ride from Disney. It just makes sense. I hope we see more. I hope we see all the countries. That'd be really cool. Then we have Wardrobe from Beauty and the Beast, and this is a wild pop. This thing looks really cool. This is like one of the weirder pops. Like, let's say if you could go back to like Emerald City Comic Con when we got that gelatinous cube. That's kind of the vibes that this gives me, where it's just one of those really weird odd pops, and for that reason, I might end up buying it. And then last but not least, we have the Rocketeer. This is awesome. I really like this pop. I'm not a huge fan of this franchise, but I do like the character design, and I really like how the pop turned out. Considering we only got 2 pops in 2020, it's kind of hard to compare. I think I'm going to give it to 2021 because I really like that Kronk. I love that. Everyone loves that part of Emperor's New Groove where he's talking to the squirrel, and I also am a super fan of the Blacklight pop, so I'm really happy to see that White Rabbit. So 2021 definitely gets it for Disney. The next category is games. So for 2020, Vexalia, I would assume is how that name would be pronounced, and that's from Critical Role. This is an alright looking pop. Then we have Ripley from Fortnite. This is pretty cool, but it's just a Fortnite pop. Then we have the Flocked Vulpix, which I do have somewhere behind me over there. I love the Flocked Pokemon pops, especially when they look like they should be flocked, like a Vulpix rather than, let's say, a Charmander. And then we have the Flocked Mewtwo, which is kind of a toss-up because should he be flocked or shouldn't he? Because people don't really know exactly what the skin texture on a Mewtwo is. Then the 2-pack of Super Tails and Super Silver. I also own these pops and I love them. Then for 2021, we have the Diamond Collection Bulbasaur. Trash. The Diamond Collection Squirtle. Trash. Xanthar with a D20, which is actually really damn cool from Dungeons & Dragons. I actually went to a little small shop today and I seen they had like Dungeons & Dragons figures and they did have this character and I looked at it and I go, oh yeah, that's that new pop that just got announced. So that was kind of cool and I think that this thing looks really nice and I love how they're giving us D20s with the Dungeons & Dragons pops. That just makes so much sense. And then we have Crash Bandicoot in mask armor, which is really cool from the new Crash 4 game. This is awesome. I love the Crash Pops. I need to have this in my collection. This is tough. You have the 2 Pokemon Pops from 2020 that I really liked, and that Sonic 2-pack, which I also really like. For 2021, you have those 2 trash Diamond Collection Pops. I'm sorry if you like those. I just personally don't. I don't really like Diamond Collection that much. I think if they're gonna do Pokemon Pops, why not just do some new characters or give us some kind of cool Pikachu doing something else for a con pop. That makes sense. And then the Dungeons & Dragons pop and the Crash pop I also really like. So I think I have to give it to 2020 though, just because I do own 4 of those pops if you include the 2-pack being 2 separate pops. Next, we are moving on to Marvel. So for 2020, we had that Stan Lee where he's kind of in a robe of sorts, and I like that. It's from the first Iron Man movie. This is one of the better looking Stan Lee pops in my opinion. Then we have the Nightcrawler, which is also really cool. I really like this. I like X-Men. This is super awesome. Then Wade Wilson, Weapon 11, I would assume is what that says. This is cool. I mean, I don't know. It's Wade Wilson. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of really Deadpool that much, like I've kind of talked about in the podcast if you don't listen to that. So, I don't know. It's an alright pop. I'm sure a lot of people like this because it's not just Deadpool, but it's not really for me. Then the Zombie, the Thing. I don't know. This is pretty cool, actually. I do kind of like this, but I hate the Marvel Zombies lineup, so I can't like it that much, but it is cool because it's the 10-inch pop and there's probably a lot of detail when you look at it in person, but meh, not for me. Then there's Dark Captain Marvel. This is a wild looking pop. I mean, there's no real face to it, I guess you could say, which is pretty neat. Then for 2021, we have the Cape Wolf, which this is a pretty cool pop. I know recently I've been saying like, oh, there's been so much Captain America stuff, I'm not really liking it, but I kind of do like this pop a little bit. Then we have Blade, which is pretty cool, but it kind of gives me those vibes of an older pop, which isn't really a bad thing when it comes to a con pop, I guess, so it gets a pass. Then we have the Falcon. This pop's pretty cool. I could see a lot of people really enjoying it. Then we have the 10-inch Galactus with Silver Surfer. I don't know even exactly what they called this one, but it's so cool. It looks like this, like the sky, like the universe. I really like this, and I hope I can get this. I know this is probably going to be so expensive though. Then we have the die-cast Captain America, and if I would guess, it would be die-cast and it would be metal, which I would believe is the first metal pop, which is really cool. I know I had the idea of making wood pops back when we saw those like wood decal pops, which Captain America was one of those, but obviously it doesn't make sense to start cutting trees down to make pops. That just does not make any sense at all, but it would be cool. But we do have die cast, which is neat. I need to see this thing in person to get my full opinion on it, but I love the concept of this. This is tough. This is really tough because I love the Stan Lee, I love the Nightcrawler, and then for 2021, I really like the Cape Wolf. The Blade is alright, the Falcon's cool, the Galactus is super awesome. I really like that 10-inch pop, but I still think 2021 is going to get it because the Cape Wolf is so cool and that Galactus is just unreal. 2021 definitely takes it for Marvel. Okay, moving on to movies. Wallace Wells from Scott Pilgrim. This is such a cool pop. I wish I would have started collecting the Scott Pilgrim pops long ago because now they're kind of pricey, and this Wallace Wells pop is pretty damn cool. I remember being super pumped when this got announced last year. Then we have the scented Brian Fantana, and this is awesome. People were pumped for this from the Anchorman, obviously. Such a cool pop, and the rest of this lineup is awesome as well, with Ron Burgundy playing like the flute, Brick Tamland, Ron with Baxter, and he's wearing like his jammies, and then you have just the more what you would think of when you think of Ron Burgundy wearing that burgundy suit, which is also really, really cool. I love all these pops. I don't know why I didn't pick these up last year, actually. Then we have Iron Bob from the reboot of Jay and Silent Bob. This is cool. I should pick this up to go with my Jay and Silent Bob pops that I do own. I don't know why I haven't got this pop either though, because it is pretty damn cool. Then we have Marty checking watch from Back to the Future. I like this pop. I think if there's one pop that anyone should get from the Back to the Future line, if you only want one pop, it's this pop, because it's kind of the poster where he's looking at the watch. Then we have the Sith Jet Trooper. I don't know, I think some people were pretty pumped for this, but I don't know, it's not my favorite when it comes to Star Wars pops. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I don't know, this just doesn't do it for me. Then in 2021, we have Rey, and then in brackets Jakku from Star Wars, obviously. And then we have the Imperial Super Commando from Star Wars Rebels, and I know what you're thinking. Star Wars Rebels is not a movie, and let's thank DK Wrestler for that, because he does not know how to put a list together.
Yes, I can admit that I accidentally put Star Wars Rebels, which is a TV series, under the movies lineup, but that's mainly because the movies lineup was kind of low and you needed to add some pops into that section. But realistically, who had the more dumber moment in today's video? Was it me by doing that, or was it the fact that MD kept mentioning Cape Wolf instead of Cap Wolf of the pronunciation of that character's name? Who the says Cape Wolf? Anyways, let's continue on with this video.
Now, these pops are alright. I mean, we've already seen a few Rays though, so why do we need this version? I don't know. The Imperial Super Commando, this is kind of cool, I guess, but I'm not a huge fan of Rebels either, so I don't know. TDK from the Suicide Squad. This is a neat looking pop. I mean, he has his arm ripped right off, and you can even see like kind of inside of his shoulder with kind of the meat and the bone, which is pretty neat. It's pretty gruesome for a pop, actually. I think this is an easy one. It's gotta go to 2020. I mean, Scott Pilgrim, Anchorman, and Jay and Silent Bob, and Back to the Future. Like, if it was just the Anchorman pops, 2020 would still take it, so they definitely get it. Now we are moving on to television. So in 2020, we had Zim with the Mini Moose, which was a pretty damn cool pop. Then we have Dwight Schrute as Recyclops. I believe this is the second version. This was pretty cool. I mean, I really liked the first one, but we wanted to see all of them, obviously, so it was cool to see this version as well. Then we have Michelangelo from TMNT with the surfboard. This was cool. This is a cool looking Con pop. I mean, it's got the Con, like, logo on the surfboard, which is neat, but I don't know, I feel like also they could have done like just a crazy character from TMNT, and that would have probably sold a whole lot better than just Michelangelo with the surfboard. Then Clawful from Masters of the Universe. This is pretty cool. Detailed pop. Masters of the Universe pops obviously sell very, very well, and I think it looks good. And I guess the same thing would be said for Blast Attack. I do think I like Clawful a little better. Then for 2021, Filibuster Leslie. I have seen a few episodes of Parks and Rec, but I have not seen this one, I don't think, at least. Parks and Rec, obviously, the pops sell pretty good, and I feel like a lot of people were hyped for that. Then we have the Belly Dancer Homer, which I am super pumped for because I collect all of the Simpsons pops. I think this one looks great. It's a cool character to do for a con. I like that because let's say if they were to do a random character that they haven't done, let's say like, I don't know, Dr. Hibbert, let's say. And then they make it con exclusive, and then maybe it goes up a lot in value, and then people are like, oh, now I can't get a Dr. Hibbert pop. Whereas this is just a kind of version of Homer that, like, you could possibly miss out on. You don't have to have this exact version if you could say go get the other 5 or 6 that are made, right? So I'm glad that this is the con pop for The Simpsons. Then we have Black Noir from The Boys. I mean, there's not a whole lot that can be said about this pop because the whole thing's black. I mean, obviously that's what the character is, but the whole thing is just black, so you can't really see a whole lot of the detail of the pop. Maybe if you own it and you're like looking really close at it, you could probably see it better, obviously, but let's even say from the shelf, it's just gonna look like a black silhouette. Then we have Stanley Hudson in kind of the samurai outfit, and this is really cool. I really like this. I'm glad they did an office pop. I didn't even think they were going to do an office pop really for FunKon, but they surprised us and we got another Stanley, which is so cool. Oh, this is tough because I do like the Masters of the Universe pops. The Michelangelo is pretty cool. The Dwight obviously is awesome, and the Invader Zim is also pretty cool. But I think I like the Belly Dancing Homer and that Stanley Hudson better than any of those pops, so I think I gotta give it to 2021. Okay, now we're on to the last category, and that is miscellaneous. So it can just be anything. It can be pop rocks, it can be any other kind of franchise that didn't really fit into another category. Starting off in 2020, we have the Steve Aoki. This is really cool. I'm glad that he got a pop, and I think he has a couple now, which is really cool. Then we have Harry Potter with the, oh god, I can't even remember what it's called. I'm not even gonna try because I'm not that big of a Harry Potter fan. But we have another Harry Potter. It's cool. I know it's going to sell well because Harry Potter obviously is one of the biggest franchises for Funko. Then we have the Hello Kitty robot. This is alright. I don't know. Not the greatest pop. Then for 2021, we actually have quite a few pops. Tokidoki Pops, which include Scooter, Sabo-chan, I think is how that would be pronounced, Carmelo, and Sandy. But Tokidoki's really cool, and these pops look generally pretty cool. Cobra BAT from G.I. Joe. This is pretty cool. The G.I. Joe lineup I know sells well as well because of those 80s kids who just need to get their hands on more G.I. Joe toys. And same goes with Masters of the Universe, where we have Roboto. This is a decent looking pop. I mean, it's not the best. Then we have Whiplash, which is a really cool looking pop. There's a lot of detail there, and I think it looks really good. Then we have another Harry Potter. This one is where he is kind of flying on his broomstick, and he has the golden snitch, I believe is what it is, in his hand. Then we have Shockwave from Transformers, and this is another one of those where it's like, these 80s kids need to get these hands on more Transformers toys, so this is really cool. Anthony and Joseph Russo, part of the director's lineup, and this is cool because I don't think we've ever seen really a director's 2-pack, unless the Stranger Things one. If that is directors and not Stranger Things, then maybe that was the first 2-pack. Obviously, there's a lot more pops for 2021. 2020 also did have a couple cool pops, but I think 2020 has to take it. There's a lot more pops. We're seeing Tokidoki Pops, which is kind of neat and different. I mean, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe. It's pretty crazy. I really love the Retro Toys lineup as well, so it definitely has to go to 2021. So that being said, I guess 2021 takes the cake for this Which Is Better video. But that's all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and hit that little notification bell to be notified when future content like this video gets released. Leave a comment and let me know. Am I completely wrong? Was 2020 so awesome? Did you love it? Did you hate 2021? Or did you agree with me? And again, thank you for watching the video, and I hope you did enjoy it. But I am out of here. Peace in. Peace out.
Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at a Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, a Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.